This is the new MazeMaker, and it's called MazeMaker MAXI. And sadly, I haven't had enough time to prepare a full demonstration, no, not a demonstration, but a full example of the use of MazeMaker MAXI, but we will do something live right now. So I'm going to present every aspect of this new machine, and keep present that I was able to integrate all the feedback that I received from you. And so all the requests that you had, for the new version are included in this machine. Okay. Now I can see that there is a lot of delay between the stream that I'm seeing and the moment when I'm transmitting the stream. So if you have any questions, please be patient, because it may pass some time before I will see your messages in the chat. But don't worry, if you have any question, please ask them. So we can start. Keep in mind that I rebuilt the machine from scratch. It's a different Minecraft world. Everything was rebuilt from nothing. Only the knowledge that I gained with the second iteration was transported into the new version. As you see, more or less, it's very similar to the other MazeMaker. You see, these are the templates, it's the same. And this is the building area where you can build MazeMaker MAXI 3.0. These are the sectors. These are all invariants. So if you already knew the old one, it's basically the same. You can notice that the height of the templates is 48 blocks now, because thanks to the technical limits of the new structure blocks in version 1.16, I can build structure blocks can save up to 48 blocks in height and also other dimensions, but I kept the templates 16 by 16. So this is already an improvement. What do we have here? This is the template workshop, and serves the same purpose of MazeMaker Deluxe one. This instead is the main platform, and it's some sort of home location for some settings, and also teleport hub between all the parts of the machine. Let's start from the simple settings. Here we have some simple settings to set time at night and at day, and activating the clock. And on this side, just to set the mode adventure, survival, or creative. This is for experiencing the creation, maybe is best experienced at night, and in survival or in adventure, so you can set them quickly from here. But this is nothing really impressive, I'm aware. So let's see the templates. The template is basically the same, but you will notice that we have here a small button in the corner. So before explaining what it does, I want to ask you, what do you think this button does? Because according to the feedback, I've been asked to add some functions to the template, so what do you think it is? And also, how many templates are there? This I will tell you right now. Thanks to the, let's say, new techniques of building of the machine, of designing of the machine cells, which are located below the ground here, I am able to incorporate many more templates inside the machine. In fact, there are 90 different templates. And each one of these cells below the ground are capable of distinguishing between all these templates. So now you have 90 spots. At first I was planning to do only 80 of them. You are late, Codykins. Don't worry, we have just started. I see that there are 7 people now, and I am happy about it. Okay, I was saying I originally planned on doing 80 templates, which was 4 times the original, quite a lot. And after that, after organizing in detail the structure of the cell below ground, etc., while I was designing it, I noticed that the perfect number which exploited to the maximum the new system architecture was instead 90. So I had 10 more templates which came off basically from mathematical relations. So it's a round number for the internal structure of the machine. And so it's also quite a lot. So I'm fine with that. So we have 90 templates, and you may notice that it takes a long to travel between all of them. So in this MazeMaker, I wanted also to improve the user experience, not only give you more things, because I can give you 90 templates and a lot of space to build. But if you have to go straightforward from one side to the other to edit these templates, it's not very useful and it's not very usable also. So I've made these things, which I call it the fast line. You can see that there are some stations here on the side and also on the other side, and these stations have some options here, we'll see them later, and these pressure plates, when I go above, it teleports me to the other station, so I can move very quickly from one side to the other and get off the fast line anywhere I want. So I can travel very quickly in any point of the template workshop. There is also a back button which teleports me to the main platform. As I said, the main platform is the home location where you always go back and where you have the shortcuts to go anywhere in the machine. This fast line can be reached also with this pressure plate. If I go above it, you see that I'm also in the right direction. So if I have to go, for example, and there is also this one for the other fast line, let's say that I have to go to the end of the workshop. So let's say number 90. I simply go in this direction and I'm already here, number 90. Of course, if you slow down while you are going, you can reach any location. So it's quite useful. And also the back button is also here. So I have to say, I see a really huge delay. Probably my connection isn't very good. I'm sorry. I hope that at least the audio is fine. But probably my connection is not so good, and so I see a lot of delays. So if you have any questions of the things that I have just explained, probably I will see them a little bit later than now, probably a few minutes later. Sorry about that. So meanwhile, I'll continue. So how does it work? Simply you build something in the template, and then you save it and use it to compose your creation. So this is maybe our template. So I asked you what the button was, and I see that the stream hasn't arrived probably at that point where I asked you because of the delay. So I will tell you, I don't see any answer in the chat, but I will tell you anyways. Basically, this button does many things. So let's finish building these. So of course, the template is totally free. You build what you want and you put it into the building area. But I have added some tools which are pretty useful to interact with the template as a whole entity. And you will see that when I press this button, a menu appears. And what it does, and simply what's written here, copy, cut, paste, rotate, and flip. So let's say that we want to copy this template to this other plot. We take the chart and we say copy. The template has been copied to our clipboard, so we press here. Another menu appears. This one above is from template 7, that one, and this one is from template 6. And we click paste, and the template is pasted. Very simply. You can also cut the template, and there is no clear and simple delete option, because I don't want you to risk to lose your data. So if you cut your template, the cut basically it's a delete, but if you cut and deleted your template by mistake, you can just paste it back, because it's a save delete. So it's saved, it's copied, and it's deleted. Other than this, there is also the rotate, and this rotates your template. Pretty useful, because maybe sometimes you have something that has an orientation and you would like to have something very similar which has another orientation. So you can copy and rotate. And also there is the flip. Flips along the x-axis, because this one is the x-axis. So flips left with right. If you want to flip the front with the bottom, it's very simple. You just, for example, front with the bottom would be this thing always on the right, and the two doors, the two archways nearby us. So you just flip, rotate, rotate. It's just a sequence of transformation. It's just a small trick. And as you see, this is flipped, the front and the bottom. Okay. Keep in mind that these menus are always active. So be careful where you're clicking in the chat, because maybe you are not looking at, and then you click cut, 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 and then you don't find your templates because they've disappeared. I suggest you to, let's paste it here, okay. I suggest you, when you are doing these operations, to click all the buttons of the templates that you have to modify, and then use the menus later. For example, let's take also this number 8, okay, then you go in a position where you see all of them, and then you do what you have to. Okay, maybe you have to rotate this one, flip that other one, etc. 6, okay, and so you did it. Be careful, as I already said, that these are always active. So maybe you risk to modify templates that you are not looking at. Delete. So, yes, another important thing. There is a button here, edit line. If I press it, let's press the one of another line. Here is 25 to 28. If I press the edit line button, it simply is the same as pressing all the 4 buttons. So it's just quicker. You don't have to go to all the 4 templates. You just press that button, and when you press the chat, when you go in the chat, you have all the menus that you need. All these menus are always active. If I click paste here, it pastes the template there. Basically, this is all that's new about the new template workshop. So it's higher, as 90 templates, has all these new features of editing. This edit menu has this way of transportation which allows you to quickly travel and navigate all the area. And basically this is it about the editing of the templates. Now we will just create an example maze just to play a bit around with it, and we will do it by just recycling the example maze of MazeMaker Deluxe. So before doing that, I just have to tell you that the organization of the materials associated to the templates is done in this way. The lines have several colors, while the columns have several materials. Here we have glass, here we have wool, here we have concrete, and here we have terracotta. This is white, more or less light gray, black, and this is the first chunk. As you can see, the templates are divided in these 16 template groups, which are called batches. This is one batch, this is the other batch, etc. This is it because you will see it has something to do with the saving operation of these templates before using them. I'm sorry if I'm explaining a lot of things without letting you see much action, but now we'll get into the action. So here you can see that we have basically all the rainbow of 16 colors. So the first 16 lines are all the possible colors up until this purple, I think. Yes, purple. After that we have another special batch, sorry, and with some other materials. Here we have 4 types of bricks, 4 types of wooden planks, 4 types of stones, let's say, and 4 types of grounds. And the final half batch is the ores and the precious material, like in the old MazeMaker Deluxe, and finally chisel quartz and quartz pillar. You can see that I have put another frame with the materials because there are also here the interface packs. Let's take a chest. If I place a building material here, okay, we see it as a series of small cubes, and this could be potentially our template, our layout. But it might be a little bit confusing, so I prepared a couple of it is play interface. It works in the same way of the other one, of the old one, resource pack for MazeMaker Deluxe. And now you can see that we are not seeing anything, but in reality this is the item in the item frame, which is as big as, here you can see it, is as big as a block. Why this? Because these resource packs, first of all, they improve the readability of your layout. You can see that it's easier to read, but also they provide custom textures, so they help you just to remember what you built in your template. So when you're drawing it, it's easier to understand what's in it. And the custom texture that may occupy, here now it's just the plain original texture, but it might have some symbols on it. And you will see these symbols also here, so it will be easier to remember what is associated with the pack actually in use. So let's build something. I'll get from some schematics the templates of the example for MazeMaker Deluxe. Okay, the path. Okay, I've put this path template, just some grass, and I've put it here under the grass block, so it's easier to remember. Then I will put here with the iron, the stone bricks, the wall template. Okay. The main difference between the MazeMaker Deluxe and this MazeMaker is that you have to manually save your templates before using them. And this is what is done here. Save batch. Before before going to compiling your templates, you have to save them. And it saves the batch. That's why they are divided, also for improved organization of the batches, so you have to remember the batch. Maybe you can organize the different batches building different types of templates. So templates of a certain area are built in a batch, etc. So it's easier also to separate them. And also it's the limit of the save operation. As you can see, if I press save batch, it's going to save all these and says 65 to 80, because this is 65 and the last one is 80. It's not very intuitive, because maybe you can forget to save these these batches before compiling, and then you try to compile it and you don't see anything and you ask yourself why. So there are other two options for saving, which are here. So what we just saw is the manually save. It's the basic operation, but we have also this batch autosave. Look at what's happening here. When I'm going into this batch and I'm possibly editing something, as soon as I go to the other batch, the save operation is initiated. Templates 1 to 16 acquired. So you don't have to remember to save them manually. Then probably maybe I'm building something also here, and when I'm going backwards, this other batch is saved. 17 to 32. That one is 32, this one is 17, and so everything is saved. This can be activated or deactivated, because maybe you don't want your templates to be constantly saved as you fly above them, so you can disable it. Other thing is the save all templates options, which basically saves them all. Why isn't this the default option? Because there are too many templates, and the game can't possibly take all the parts of the template workshop loaded. So if you just try to save them all, it will save only the ones that we are looking at, so up until that horizon. So the save all templates options does that, simply teleports you around the workshop. You see, it's changing color because we are being teleported, and simultaneously it's going to be, all templates are going to be saved. When it's completed, we are taken back here at the home location. The important thing is that all these templates, because of how structure blocks work, are saved in a temporary file. So when you go out the game and you go back in, if you want to compile, you have to save them again. That's a real problem. But with this option, as you saw, it's just a matter of a few seconds, and it's not a problem. So we just saved our two templates. So we go to this, the layout assembler, controls for MazeMaker v3, and we are here. We are here in a control room similar to the one of MazeMaker Deluxe, and this control room basically is the interface point of all these sectors below, only the sector 0, 0. This is the map of the sector, and so behind us there is the library of the materials. We take the grass and we take the stone bricks. Now we can draw with the stone bricks some sort of layout. doesn't have to make sense totally, just it's just a test. I like it this way more. Then we fill with grass, and remember to not to leave any empty spaces. No empty spaces and no double items in one space. Otherwise the map is not read correctly by the machine. So we have this layout and we simply compile it. When we compile it, you will see that it might take a while, but it will start to compile it. It's quite fast because it's all the cells go as much as possible in parallel. So it just takes I don't know, you will see, but less than a minute, and it will replicate this exact layout. You might be asking yourself, what about all the other sectors? You see that the area of MazeMaker Deluxe was just 4 sectors, so imagine these 4 sectors, and you see that there are also other, and that there is only one chest, only for this sector. So how do we edit the other ones? Basically with these buttons. You see on the side of the screen that there is a compass which says column 0, row 0. And the trick is that this you don't see any other control rooms above the other sectors, right? But with these buttons we can move ourselves and the control room with us to the other sector. So this improves, increases the row by 1, so we will go there. Here we are. Now we can edit this sector. This increases the column. Here we are. Now we can edit this one. This is decreases. This decreases the row. So now we are here, and this decreases the column. So we are here again. As you can see, the compass is updated while we are going in the big sector matrix. This buildable area is very it's quite large. it's not infinite, of course, but it's still quite large. I'm reading in the chat that you're having a little bit of lag. I'm sorry about that. Probably in part it's my fault, but I don't remember the other my other streams to be so laggy, so it's not totally my fault. I don't know why it's doing like that. Probably it's also Twitch's fault. Well, let's continue. I hope this wasn't this hasn't been a big problem for you all. Okay, so let's go back. Yes, another important thing, the other controls of this control room. Here we have the go back, which takes us back to the to the base point. The important thing is that when you go back and then you go into the MazeMaker control room again, MazeMaker will keep in memory the location you were in. So sector 4.0. This is important because probably the matrix of sector is very large. So if you are inside its depths, it's useful to have a quick, not to have to set the control room again in that position. Maybe you just have to go back to edit some templates, and then you want to recompile the sector which is in the middle of the sector grid. So the location will be kept in memory. We also have these two options, copy map chest and paste map chest. So you can copy the content of the chest and paste it in another sector to make modifications, for example. And you can also paste it in some other places that we'll see. So let's go back to the corner. Okay, here we are. This button simply clears the selection. And keep in mind that also entities like item frames, mobs, armor stands, etc. are copied. Everything is copied, just like in MazeMaker Deluxe. The final, let's compare it again. As you can see, the layout is kept in memory. The final button is inspect sector. What it does is that if you want to inspect the sector, yes, you can go out from this hole, for example, but this is easier. If you press it, the control room will just pop out of existence and you will be gently deposited into the sector so you can take a look at it more closely and more clearly. But we are still in edit mode. As you can see, we have the compass on the side. When we have finished exploring, we just fly into this square and the control room will appear again. So here we are. These are all the options for the control room. How much is big the grid where we can build? Basically, it's a square of 90 chunks by 90 divided in 150 sectors. Each sector has the same size of the double chest, so it can be perfectly mapped by it. So having 15 rows and 10 columns generates a total shape which is a square of 90 by 90. As you can see right now, the area is quite large. 2,000 and no, 2 million and sorry. Anyway, you can read it. I see that there is a huge delay between what you are looking at right now and what I'm talking about right now, so I'm really sorry about it. I don't know why. I did a stream a few days ago and it wasn't so laggy. Probably it's the bad time of the day to do the stream. Let's continue. Okay, let me know if you have any questions while I will try to build something more. I want to show you it the machine in action, not just copy pasting some templates and compiling them. So what I will do is building a complete directional maze, and I will do that in approximately 10 minutes, you will see. And we build it from scratch. So you will see how these new tools will help you building a directional maze. What is a directional maze? This is considered as a binary maze because we have a template which is all wall, a template which is all path from all directions. You don't have to look carefully how you are compiling these templates between each other. A directional template is one that it might include some sort of corridor or room with some doors on certain faces, and so you cannot attach them to any other template. You have to be careful, and because they have an orientation. First of all, I will use my directional interface resource pack. At the moment I've done only the plane and the directional. And the directional 2 is also a work in progress. But you will see it. Okay. Let's look at all the materials. You will see that these first materials have now some directional indication. So we have turns, straight corridors, junctions, dead ends, etc. And as I told you, you can see these symbols also here. So you remember that this is a corridor, straight corridor, for example. This just changes the textures of these blocks, but does nothing else. So it's just a matter that you build here a right turn because you see it here, and when you will place this right turn in your layout, you will have a right turn. So let's build something. We will start from here, from the four-way junction. I prepared here a chest with some materials. Okay. I want to do the floor on the second block, and this will be the wall. Okay, so now we have to do a four-way junction, so we will do it centered. Okay, we stack up these. Okay, let's make it a bit prettier, a bit nicer. Okay. Okay, let's put some grass, which will improve the overall look of the maze when seen from above. And let's do this. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just replicating this sector to the other parts. Okay, and here we have our four-way junction. So we can do our three-way junction right here in plot 12. We copy from 4 and paste to 12, and we just have to cut off this route. So let's just do this. Stack 15. Okay, it's done. Then we can do our turn. Okay, let's copy from 12 and paste to 8. And to do like that, we have to cut off this one. Okay, let's finish. Okay. Finally, we have our dead end here. Let's copy from 8 and paste to 16. And this dead end is from above. So here. So we have to cut off this one in the same way of the other template. Okay. Done. So we do the straight corridors now. And we can just copy it from number 4. Copy from 4 and paste into 3. Okay. Let's remove this one, since it's a straight corridor. Okay. And then we have the other corridor, the vertical and the horizontal. So we just copy from 3 and paste into rotating. Okay. So let's complete all the other all the batch will be filled with these different junctions with different orientations. So this, and this. Let's copy 8, where it is 8, here, copy 8 into 7, 6 and 5, then we can rotate 7, rotate 6 and rotate 5. As you can see now, the content of the template matches what's drawn here. Let's do also for the rest. Let's copy 12 and paste it here, here and here. So okay, okay, the same thing. I'm always looking at the drawing of the template, the symbol here, to make it match with the content of the template. Finally, 16 into this other one. Okay. Okay, and it's done. We completed in a few minutes our our directional maze. We can save it. And let's compile something with it. I will compile it in the next sector here. So basically we have just to take all these elements and draw something here. In order not to lose time, I have prepared already a layout. And let's talk about what we have here. This is the layout archive, which is simply a grid of chests that have the same copy and paste functionality of the control rooms. You see, every chest has a copy map, paste map buttons. I have prepared here an example of a template. As you can see, it's very easy to read the layout of the maze using this resource pack. So I can copy this one, copied. I can go here and notice that I am in the sector that I have already selected because it has memorized the coordinates. This chest is empty, but if I paste, the chest now has the same layout, so I can compile it. It's compiling. And look at it. Okay, we had already the layout stored into the archive, but it doesn't require much to draw this. And in a few minutes, I think it took just 10 minutes to do this, and we have already completed our maze. Let's inspect it. Here it is. Okay, let's go back, and we're almost done, but there is one more thing that I want to show you. So, and this is that thing. Also, let's say that we just have to, I don't know, let's do some modifications. For example, let's put some grass on the top of these templates. You can use the copy, paste, rotate functionalities in order to copy the main structures, and then you can add unique details to your templates, like this. After you did that, you can just go back to the control room. The layout is kept in memory. Oops. And then you just compile it again. Let's finish just this line, and let's try recompiling it. So we put some grass on the L turns and on the freeway junctions. We save, go back, go here, and compile it again. Here it is. So it's easy, it's very easy to start building by building basic template with all the basic shapes and without details, and so arranging them to create the structure that you want to build. After that, you can add detail later and just recompile it all together. Then you can change the layout. So it's a double front of improvement. Layout plus detail into the layout. So you can add new templates later and improve the layout, or add more detail to the layout, so you can start prototyping your templates to do the basic function and then add something later. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show you is this button basically, and all this area. What is this? basically, we know that MazeMaker is capable of assembling chunk-sized structures. But what happens if we have to assemble something bigger? If we want, we need a bigger house, for example, in our town, or a bigger structure, maybe a large archway in our maze. How do we do that? Basically, we just have to split it into different templates. But you have to design a structure split, and it's not very effective. Maybe you can build it on a side, and then you can split it. I've seen that many participants of the MazeMaker contest did that, so I wanted to do something about it. And what I did is building this. This is the scanner, the large build scanner, and it's the complete opposite of the MazeMaker. The MazeMaker reads the layout chest and takes the templates and composes them on the area. The scanner instead reads the chest, reads the area, and puts what you build here into the templates. Let's see it in action. So we need to build something which is very large. We can build it anywhere. The important thing is that all the borders are the same with the checkerboard. So I will paste this something from my schematic list. I built this today, a few hours ago. It's just, it's not super beautiful, but it's just a nice little build that is a 2x2 chunk sized. So we need to place these into our mazes or structures that we build. So what we do is, first of all, we choose where to put it in our templates, and we will have to convert it. So let's place it, for example, in these 4 templates. I can place it in any 4 templates sparse in any direction, but I will choose these 4 near ones just for simplicity. Okay, I got the materials, and then we can press scan templates to go here. This control room is very similar to the MazeMaker control room. It has also the back button, and you can access the layout disassembler build scanner with this button. Once we are here, we have this chest, which is the scanner filter, and is the same of the layout, but it's the inverse operation. So we have the thing here in these 4 places here. Okay, we can put these materials here, take them for reference, and we just leave a glass panel in the unassigned squares. When we start the scan, the scanner will start. It's a bit slower than the MazeMaker because this has to work serially and not in parallel. But you will see what is going to happen. While it's working, I can say that you, like the MazeMaker, you have to put only 1 element for each slot, glass panels in the so-called empty areas, the areas that you don't want to scan. For example, maybe you have another structure and you don't want to scan that again because maybe you already did some modifications on specifically already on the templates. You can place a glass panel here so the second structure won't be scanned. And you can see that the structure is being deconstructed into the templates. We have also the copy map chest and paste map chest, so you can save your filters into the archive and vice versa. Or maybe you can paste the filter into the MazeMaker layout because you have to take it as a reference to modify it, so you can do anything you want. I also want to place other scanners on the other batches, but I will do that later because it's not as simple as copy pasting them. There are all the circuits to set up. With this button, go to templates, you will be teleported back to the nearby templates, and now we have our small building deconstructed. So we can use it now as many times as we want. And we are going to do just that. So let's save this. Go here. Okay. I want to build them in the first one. So what I'm going to do is going here, copy the map chest, this one. Paste the map chest here and compile it. Okay. While he's compiling it, we go back. You see there? No, you don't see anything, but you will see that it's going to be compiled there. I hope. I don't see. Probably the scanner hasn't finished, so it's halting the process of this other sector. Okay, it's not a problem. I will move it to this other sector. Okay, let's go to this sector instead. Wait. Paste, okay, compile, okay. Let's move to this sector instead and create something with that building that we just saved in our templates. So we just need to place it like here. I'm doing 2 iterations of it. Okay. Okay. And let's just put some grass. Compile. Here it is. Okay, I'm seeing that the lag is no, not the lag necessary, but the delay is very high between what I'm doing now and what I'm seeing on Twitch. Because I'm seeing that on Twitch I have just started building the maze, the directional maze, while here we have already finished doing all these other things. But let's just, now that we are here, let's just add 2 more of these buildings and let you see how easy it is. It's like a puzzle because now these 4 templates must be placed in this specific pattern to replicate the structure that we deconstructed. we are not seeing anything, but trust me, is recompiling again the first two, and then we will have another couple of ones. Oh, sorry. Here they are. What? What? What is this? I think it's my fault because I shouldn't have gone too far from the template. This may serve you as troubleshooting why this has happened. It's not a fault of the machine itself, it's a fault of the Minecraft game. Probably something went wrong because some chunks have been unloaded because the home location is quite far. So the chest wasn't read correctly. If this happens, just recompile again and stay in the area. Don't go away while it's compiling. I didn't mean to press go back, it was a mistake. So let's just erase it. Yes, clear sector, erase everything. Here we have the template and we can compile the template. And you will see that now that we are staying in the area, you don't have to stay in this specific control room. You can move to nearby sectors, but this sector should be loaded. This system is also optimized because it's not centralized like MazeMaker Deluxe, where you needed to have a render distance which included the templates and the sectors and the 4 sectors. It's just sufficient that you have this sector loaded. So even on the lowest render distances, you should be able to do it. The drawback of this is that you have to save your templates before going here. But with the autosave, it shouldn't be a problem. And when you exit the game and enter it again, just click Save All Templates, and it's done. Et voila! Now our buildings have been compiled correctly. As you see, you can build not only mazes, but buildings and any other type of constructions, cities, towns, castles. I will try to build something to have some fun with it. I would have liked to show you something, a big creation done with MazeMaker MAXI, but I hadn't enough time and I wanted to publish it